Stop there. We'll just talk about this opening section. Good. Go turn back to the beginning. One thing you'll notice, this music gives a certain kind of feel, doesn't it? It's definitely this tempo di marcia, right? We have this march tempo, right? And it's un poco vivace. So he wants it to be fast, but just a little bit. But it has to have this feeling of right? It has this real groundedness. So as you see these accents combined with staccatos, even though it's piano, it has to have a real sense of life. So see if you can infuse that sense of life for me as you go through it. A little bit more out of those, okay? Right. Ready? Good. And those right there, if we can get more of a sense of it has to be really crisp, right? If it sounds like dum, lum, bum, it sort of falls a little flat, right? So let's get real crisp with this one. So one more time from the beginning. It's much better. Yeah, even that first note, instead of feeling, I want you to go, right? As if your whole body goes straight. Ha! You know, that kind of feeling. That's it. But normally you would put that down, and you know what's the effect of having this repeat? What is he trying to do?
It's an echo. So I always think of it as kind of being in the distance. So you kind of let it all before you hear it.
I like that. So it's kind of like having another perspective on it, right? It's kind of like all of a sudden now we get this new perspective. Maybe we've moved into a house, or you know we're somewhere else in this party, in this life of people, but we still hear that. It's still happening somewhere, right? Now we have this always pianissimo, right? So we have to somehow create this life, but yet in this whole other sphere. Now I want you to go ahead and start. Well, go ahead and play through the second verse, but when we get here, I want this to just crash here in a new place, okay? Can you hear that? Yeah, I'll give you some space. Go ahead. Certainly, if you haven't played it in a year, that's a little bit shaky, right? But tricky. Yeah, it's tricky. But that's very good, Jonathan. Now, I couldn't help but notice when we got to this piano, the sempre pianissimo section, it became a little bit difficult to hear, right? We were focusing on getting it so soft that we got a lot of tension in the hand, and so the clarity, it kind of disappeared. Yeah. So what I would focus on is really getting this feeling of just having your wrists be like floppy fish. It's just completely relaxed. When I played the Grieg piano concerto, my teacher said, you cannot have wrist tension. Her name was Anne Shine. She was a phenomenal teacher. And every time I played the beginning chord and I was stiff, she'd come over and slap my hand. She says, relax, okay. You know, again and again. I think I probably had a really red wrist by the end of the lesson. But she wanted me to understand that to get the full sound, all of your body into it, has to be relaxed. As well as to do these really light sort of, that's all really relaxed. So same thing here, when you have this, it's really relaxed in the wrist. Can you just try it right there? Really let this go.
Yep.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, it's okay. I know it's still green. That's closer. That's it, yeah. It's better. It's just learning to let go of that wrist tension so that you don't start doing this. We're able to let the fingers work and the wrist to bounce a little bit, so it's not the entire arm trying to engage. Good. Now when you got down here, this forte section was great. I'd like to see more of it in your body. I'd like to see a complete change in the way that you feel. Dum, 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 right? The drums are playing now, right? Let's hear that. Right on the forte. Ready? Good. Now, when this enters, that has to feel like a very strong chorus of instruments. And right now it's sort of strong. It's maybe halfway right? So right. See how much you can get out of it. It's hard because of all the inner stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what can we do to clean that up? What's a good practice tool?
I don't know. I'd be tempted to play just the bottom fingers and then add in the
Great. I think that's a wonderful choice. Let's try just doing the top first to focus on the melody. And we want to get 4 and 2, 3 and 5. 4 and 2, 3. Good. Now we can shape this either as ya-dum, or we can shape it as da-dum, ba-dum. We can do any number of things. Try it. Ready, and let's try doing each one individual. Ready, and that's great. How about we do yeah, each one of those implies a different kind of wrist motion, doesn't it? Yeah. Now within it, we have to have try playing this.
The hard bit.
Yeah. 2, 2, 1, 2, 1. Good. Again, relax your wrist. Good. That's it. And just now, to me, that motion implies doesn't it? Right? It feels more comfortable. So I think this is going to sound like this. So it fits?
Yeah.
So
I'm hoping I can do that.
slow it down. Anytime you find something technically difficult, slow it down slightly and see if what you can find within it is something that your hand says, okay, that makes sense. The muscles can start to learn how to hold off. You can use a little higher motion. Go down to the bottom of the key, even farther. That's it. And relax it. Move your wrist with the motion. That's it. Good. Anytime you want to create more sound, the wrist can allow itself to drop and relax, right? Right? Yeah. Good. That's great. So that's how I would work through this section. Slowly, you can start to speed it up, use a metronome. And then we start to get to this section. We have this beautiful dolce symbol, right? Yeah. Or this expression marking. And then we have right? Can I hear you try those just by itself?
I'll try them.
Good. Now try it this way. I want you to play strong, 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 strong. Good. Start with motion in the fingers on every single note. Now, see how we lost it on the C? I want to hear everyone strong. Good. Now, even though this section is dolce, the way of practicing it is always the same. We want to make sure that the facility in the fingertips can handle it at any speed, at any kind of expression, right? And then you can shape it the way you want. But I want you to be able to play it as slowly with high, loud fingers. Excellent. And shape it always up. That's better. Now, make sure it doesn't become ba-da-da-da, right? But ya-da-da. That's it. You hear the difference? Much better. Okay, try the next one. Yeah, I would use 3 instead of 2. Good. That's it. Great. And then we get to this next section where it becomes, it's similar, just in a different key. Why don't we skip down to here?
I'm never sure the timing of this very well. This is always where I can throw off where it goes up and down.
Well, who has the beat?
Yeah, I can never quite.
Is it left hand or right hand?
It would be your left hand.
That's what's actually there. What do we hear?
You hear your right
hand. You hear the right hand, exactly. So there's this displacement, which is so fun, and it's a little bit tricking of the audience. You know, they don't quite know what to listen to, which is wonderful. So go ahead and start right on it, and let's see what effect we can create.
Okay.
Yeah, if we don't have the notes quite right, it's a little bit difficult to understand the effect. But if we look at it, right? The left hand is leading the charge.
Okay.
All the way through. Great. And then go ahead and play. I heard you play this section quite well.
Yeah. Yeah, here we go.
Good. Now, I know this isn't the greatest piano in the world, but I want you to pretend that it is for a moment. Pretend you're playing on a Steinway D or a Fazioli, and I want you to just full sound. This is the entire party come to life. That's it. And then more chords. They're probably a little less familiar. Good. Now I can't help but notice you're releasing the pedal between each chord.
Yeah, I am.
Now, in a situation like this, when we have a similar sonority all the way through, we want it to all ring together. Go ahead and stand up for a second.
Yeah.
And so if I want to create this, you can go ahead and sit here. So what I want is... all of that to ring together, and then it just explodes, and everyone's like, oh, it's fun, right? Okay. So we have to give that feeling of sonority. So, these little pedal markings go all the way to that last chord. I would hold it all the way to there. Right? Try that for a second, and then we'll finish.
Okay. Sorry.
Try one more time. Start to switch. And then it would take off. And I won't make you try the hard part because it's been so long since you played it. Jonathan, wonderful. So as you would go through, if you were to keep practicing this, what I would suggest, of course, is going through it slowly, making sure that you're comfortable with the facility of it. But as we go back to sections like the very, very beginning, getting the crispness in the sound, making sure that you understand that these markings are more than just dynamic markings. They imply expression. They imply a whole feeling, a character, a surrounding. I mean, this is a very descriptive piece, right?
Yeah.
These are what he calls lyric pieces, right? It comes from a set of lyric pieces. And they have to be lyrical at all times to tell the story. Relaxation in the wrist for these sections down here. Again, more life. Envision the party. I mean, if we have more time, we could talk about different characters we could build into this and people who could represent different motives that we see in different places. And what's happening here, this big build-up, and then everyone again coming up to do a big dance in the end. It's wonderful. Jonathan, thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.